singling out minority communities for cheap votes. That's why he did it. It wasn't clumsy. You liar, Starmer. You didn't misspeak. As Brother Ajmal said, you said it 4 times. You mentioned a country which doesn't have one single person waiting for deportation. Why did you mention it? Not once, but 4 times. And if it was a mistake, why did your right-hand man, Ashworth, say exactly the same words? This was a deliberate targeting of the Bangladeshi people for a number of reasons. Some of them are not great. Maybe he thought the Bangladeshis were so peaceful, so law-abiding, that they would take it on the chin. Well, they are law-abiding. I've looked at the jail statistics. There's only 346 Bangladeshis in the British prison system. There are tens of thousands of Albanians. He didn't mention Albanians, he mentioned you. Maybe he thought that you were the weakest link. Maybe he thought that you would take it on the chin.
Never.
Well, you may be law-abiding. You certainly are peaceful. But all of you have got votes. And on Thursday, you have to vote Labour out everywhere across the east end of London. That you can do. Perfectly legally. Perfectly peacefully. Within your rights. You have to vote Labour out on Thursday. I tell you, if he'd said what he said about you, about some of the Pakistani people that I run around with, there would have been very serious trouble already. Labour councillors that pretended to be Pakistanis, Labour MPs that pretended to be Pakistanis, they would have been forced to resign on their own doorsteps by a large crowd of angry constituents. But you don't do things that way. But that doesn't mean that you should let them away with it. Because if you let them away with it, Ajmal might need that piece of land that he's held on to in Bangladesh. Even though he's not allowed to go there, he might have no choice. If you let them away with it, who's next? The Pakistanis next? Somalis next? Who is it that's next?
British people.
These racist dog whistles that Starmer was engaging in, by definition, have no end. Because Farage will always undercut you, he'll always go further. He'll always have a new demand against the immigrant communities here in Britain. And so Starmer, having started out chasing him on that downward spiral, will have to continue it. And then we'll have serious trouble in this country. And that's exactly what we don't want. I said I'd come back to Gaza. Halima Khan was in Palestine when Israel began its genocidal frenzy of murder. Everybody was running to the airport. Israelis and foreigners living in the West Bank, living in Jerusalem. She tore up her tickets and decided to move into the old city right next to the Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's the kind of person she is. Somebody said she's a Bengal tiger. She's a Sher Khan of a tiger. She's a mighty, powerful tiger. that will fight for you in Parliament if you elect her. The people in Gaza have been betrayed by Labour exactly as Una King betrayed the people of Iraq. It wasn't the Tories that invaded Iraq. It was Labour that invaded Iraq. It was the Labour leader who hasn't gone away, you know. Starmer is Blair. Blair is Starmer. They are the same people, the same thing. And so, yes, two cheeks of the same. You know what, I don't want to say in this delicate crowd. And so, you have an opportunity on Thursday to achieve two things. You can stand up for the people of Gaza, and you can stand up for Bangladesh. That's not a bad offer. 2 for 1. I just want to say one last thing, because I've been looking into this, trying to puzzle what it is they've got against Bangladesh. Then I discovered that Bangladesh has joined the legal action against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Bangladesh was asked, in the way the Americans always ask, to let them have St. Martin's Island off of Cox's Bazar for a NATO base. Bangladesh said no. Well done, Bangladesh. Well done, Bangladesh. And on all these demonstrations, over this last 9 months and much longer ago, going right back 20 years to when you elected me here in this very place, the people of Bangladesh origin in Britain are amongst the most faithful of all the people to the great causes, to the big cause, the cause of justice. And Halima quoted Malcolm X, who said that he prefers the wolf to the fox because the wolf doesn't make any pretense about what he's going to do. He's going to eat you, destroy you, while the fox appears to be smiling. But his intentions are exactly the same. That's the real difference between these two cheeks, you know. One of them tells you what they're going to do. The other one appears to be smiling at you, but his intention is exactly the same. So, Brother Malcolm, as always, a source of wisdom and a source that applies perfectly to this situation. I don't know if she does smile. I've never seen her smile, Anna. But I know she laughs all the way to the bank. I know that she laughs all the way to what she thinks is ministerial office. I know that she's laughing at you. You've got the chance to elect Ajmal Masroor. With all the passion that he showed you here this evening, you have the chance to elect this Shere Khan. My brothers from Croydon, Ahsanullah says the British Pakistanis stand with their Bengali brothers in the face of this attack. You can elect Ajmal. You can elect Halima. You can elect the candidates in Newham, of the Newham Independents, Sophia Naqvi, and the other candidates running there. I strongly urge you to do so and to spread the word of this meeting here this evening. I will not. Councillor Tahir Mirza, Sophia Naqvi, Halima Khan, Ajmal Masroor, Shahid Hussain in Shoreditch. We have candidates running everywhere. It's vital that they get your support. I first spoke here 20 years ago. I won't be here, I'm sure, 20 years from now. But I have, by the grace of God, 6 children. If you see them round about Brick Lane, tell them you remember their father. Thank you very much.
On your feet, people. This is a man who spent 50 years speaking the truth to a parliament that has no conscience. What you have seen here today is the very conscience of parliament, which we need to bring back into parliament in order for it to make any sense to us human beings whatsoever. Now, Keir Starmer is not a man who acts irrationally. He is not a man who acts on impulse. For him to have spoken about the Bangladeshi community in the way he did, it was calculated. And I'd imagine that's calculated because yes, we have many people in our community who are tigers, but we also have many who are tapeworms. And they are crawling to doors right now for the likes of the Labour Party candidates. People who don't care about genocide. People who don't care about their own people. And such confidence does Keir Starmer have in the tapeworms over the tigers that he can single us out in our own community, confident that he has the voter bank. Now for you to prove that to be untrue, I'll ask you to go outside, sign up and canvass for the tigers that you see on stage. Thank you very much, everybody.